It took me quite a while to learn how to make sex enjoyable for me. Not that I could have an orgasm, but actually enjoyable. And I realized that I was doing something that a lot of women do because we're conditioned to do it. So, if you are looking to have a more enjoyable sexual experience with your husband, then this is the video for you. I will be using all the words, and so make sure you have earbuds in if you are watching this video. My name is Janna Denton-Howes. I am a desire coach. I help women who are married to men want and enjoy sex more. This is not a judgment call around this particular dynamic. It's just where I have my personal and professional experience in. So in this video, I'm going to be covering the root causes of why sex isn't really satisfying and fulfilling for a lot of married women, in particular the married women that I serve who would traditionally be labeled as having low libido or a low sex drive, and I think those labels are absolute garbage. I also want to define one more thing here, and when I say sex, I'm not talking about intercourse only. Yes, penis and vagina experiences can be part of a healthy, wonderful, enjoyable sexual experience, but they are part of it. They are not fully everything. So hopefully that even just expanded your mind a little bit. What ends up happening for a lot of women is that we fall into a couple of cultural dark pits that we have been taught. And what I want to share with you is to have a more enjoyable experience. We need to move out of those and into something else. Luckily, they all start with P. So hopefully that is really memorable for you. We have pleasure, we have performance, and we have pressure. So pleasure is almost a dirty word, super shameful in our culture. I'm trying my very best to bring it out of that and reclaim it for myself and for the women I work with. But pleasure is the place of true enjoyment. Then we have pressure. Pressure can come from cultural messages. It can come internally from our narratives, our cultural conditioning, and it can also come from our husbands and his cultural conditioning as well. And then we have performance. Performance is not, does it feel good, pleasure, but does it look good? How am I acting the part? Which is unfortunately a lot of where we go to because the only sex education that most of us receive is through sex scenes or porn. And that is 100% about performance. No one's concerned about pleasure in those scenes. So we can often find ourselves recreating or trying to recreate or feeling broken because it's not working like it was working for the actors, which are not actually having enjoyable sex. It's such a messed up system. So here are kind of 3 examples to illustrate this point for you. So let's talk about pleasure. Let's talk about orgasm, for example. In pleasure, it is I will touch my body in a way that works for me. Maybe you have done some education around yourself, around female bodies, which I highly recommend, and you've learned that for a majority of women, external clitoral stimulation is absolutely necessary for the kind of pleasure you're looking for. There's internal clitoral stimulation. Typically, we think that's a vaginal orgasm. It's not. It's all the same system. And so you want to explore and be curious about that part of your body. So maybe through a vibrator or your hand, you explore and learn about your unique nerve endings and how they work, your labia, your clitoris, maybe around the surrounding areas, maybe internal, and you're just learning. You're curious. You're allowing yourself to be unique, to be the only one with this system. That's pleasure. Then we have pressure. Pressure can come from your husband to have an orgasm so that you make him feel better. Pressure can come from yourself because you want to prove that your body works. And so you bring out the vibrator and you buzz your way towards that. And you're like, yes, I work. I am a sexual being. But at the end, maybe you have those few seconds of vaginal contractions, but it doesn't feel that fulfilling or satisfying. It's definitely not something that you really look forward to. It feels kind of icky. And then you have performance. This is really that trying to recreate something or sound a certain way or make sure that your body is looking and, with the bum out, breast out kind of position. Maybe you're concerned about your sounds you're making or the contorted facial expressions you're having. And so that's where you're really focused. Performance, pleasure, pressure, or performance, moving away from pressure and performance and into true pleasure. Another example is enjoying your husband's body. Your husband's body, his erection, his whole system. Pleasure, what that looks like is just seeing it as a tool, just one tool. His erection is just one tool for your pleasure if you so desire it. It's not needed. It's beautiful possibility. And also same thing for the rest of his body. It's a beautiful possibility to use your five senses and explore maybe his hair, maybe his neck, maybe his shoulders, if you like them. Maybe you want to listen to his heartbeat or explore how his calf muscles feel under your hand. So many opportunities for his body to be part of your pleasure. Pressure is around having or feeling like you have to do something because maybe it's your wifely duty, or because you feel guilty, or maybe there's actual pressure from your husband to take responsibility for his orgasm. And that's not enjoyable. That's not something you're going to be looking forward to. Performance would be, am I doing it right? Maybe giving him a hand job and you're like, I need to get this all correct and it needs to be sexual and I need to sound a certain way and I need to pretend that I'm really into it. And even though maybe I find his penis quite disgusting actually, which a lot of women experience, especially those I serve. And so really moving out of that pressure and performance and into true pleasure. How do you do that? I have a million videos on consent and boundaries and all of that, but this is just a real simple yet not easy, but simple way to see how sex can become more enjoyable, moving away from pressure and performance and into pleasure. My last example is seeing your whole body from a pleasure perspective, your whole body as legitimate pleasure potential. All of your senses are doors leading to that opportunity of pleasure. And it doesn't just have to include certain narrowly defined sexual acts or sexual body parts that our culture has put us into, really. Breast, bum, vulva. We're allowed to moan a certain way. We're allowed to move our body a certain way. We're allowed to make certain facial expressions. But thinking about our smell as a legitimate sexual sense is just not acceptable in our culture, or our visual delight in maybe our husband's body or even in our own body. Maybe sounds that we hear are very, very pleasurable. Maybe humming or vocalizations, or maybe phrases that your husband says are just so delightful for you. Mine is I'm proud of you, or sometimes I just like hearing him say my name, Janna, Janna, Janna. I just love it. So pleasure, when it comes to your body and all of your senses, is this expansive legitimacy of every part of you. This is your sexual experience. You do not have to move into performance. Performance is really that I have to look a certain way. It's not about feeling good. It's about looking good. And we don't do this consciously. None of this is our fault, and we're not to blame. You aren't doing anything wrong. It's just waking up and opening our eyes to the formula that we keep on trying to put ourselves in and feeling broken because it doesn't work for us. And it doesn't work for most women, quite honestly. So that would be performance, and pressure would be to have certain body parts be liked just during touch. Like my breasts, for example, I don't really enjoy them being touched. Not a big breast fan. And for so long, I felt so much pressure from my husband and also from culture to make that part of my body part of the sexual experience. And I much prefer a hand on my chest or a hand on my low back, or being held tightly. I much prefer that. But when I was in the pressure mode, I just tried to force myself to like that again and again, instead of just going to pleasure. So I hope this video has helped you see that enjoying sex more isn't about learning a position or getting the right vibrator or the right technique or anything like that, or trying to like oral sex or trying to like this thing. That's not what that is about at all. If you truly want to get to the root of the issue, if you truly want to move towards an experience that you feel fully satisfying and fulfilling, and it's something that you're going to be looking forward to, then it must be in the pleasure realm. It must be. And this may take our lifetime to do this as women, because we have been conditioned to be in the pressure, guilt, and the performance, what it looks like, realm everywhere. That's everywhere. Magazine articles, music lyrics, all sex scenes. They're all basically in that realm. Okay, so I hope this video has helped. If you feel a little spark, if you feel a little bit like, gosh, I like what this gal is talking about, it feels a little bit different, I want to learn more, I have a full program, and this is just 1/100th of what we cover in a step-by-step 8-week program with my support and guidance, and you do it with a group of other women, and that is so incredible because you just get rid of shame almost immediately. And we are enrolling for our fall round. So we start in the starting of October, and this is a very popular course. And so you can join the waitlist, and immediately we are accepting people to join right away. So you can go to jannadentonhowes.com/wanting-it-more. You can learn everything about it. You can watch testimonials, videos, you can read testimonials, you can see that, number one, you're not alone, you're not broken, and if you want it with your husband, but you just don't, or you used to want it and now you don't, maybe you do find sex, enjoyable once it gets started, but it's the getting started part that is like, what is this all about? I don't even understand what the whole hype is. I can help you. Okay, so go to jannadentonhowes.com/wanting-it-more. I would love to see you in the next round of Wanting It More. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, take care.